Okay, so I'm Sujitra Tutor. Today we are going to present the usage of ChatGPT as a student. So now we are looking at who is our target sample. Our target sample includes students enrolled in matriculation, foundation, diploma, and degree programs across various academic fields, regardless of how frequently they use ChatGPT, ranging from frequent users to those who have never used it for completing assignments. This study adopted non-probability stratified convenience sampling method. Participants were from different academic levels, including foundation, preparatory, diploma, and degree courses, covering different programs. Within each level, students were selected based on their accessibility and willingness to participate, but also considering their frequency of using ChatGPT. So now we are looking at our survey code. So these are the main questions that we will ask the respondent to fill their choice, such as strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, agree, or strongly strongly agree, and RLs. So each choice have their own variable value, and for the variable 1 is strongly disagree, and variable value 2 is disagree, variable value 3 is somewhat disagree, and variable value 4 is somewhat agree, and variable value 5 is agree, and variable value 6 is strongly disagree. So next, beside that, we also need to know their personal information data of the respondents. So you can see we will need to know about how frequently they use the large language model, and the option is ordinal, never, rarely, sometimes, very often, or always. So each of these choices have their own variable value, and we also need to know their current education, such as matriculation, SSC, diploma, or degree. And we also need to know if they are UUM, so they need to state their college, and also want to know about their gender, female or male, and also need to know about their age, and this is the three type of range of their age lah. So before that, and we also need to know about uh, their academic programs, and but their data type is string, so this kind of value doesn't have the variable value lah. Beside that, we also need to know their personal.
Okay, now we will go to the 4.0, which is the part about how we have spread our surveys. These are all of the screenshots for our advertised surveys. We have this is Telegram. We have used two anonymous Telegram channel for UUM called UUM Confession, and one public UUM channel which is created by the MPP of UUM. And then also have a Chinese alumni Facebook page. We share it. And thanks to all of this effort, we have gathered about 57 of respondents, or you can see it as a sample. This is 5.0, but the variable, we have two independent variable and dependent variable. For independent, we actually have five. First is deontological norm, deontological evaluation, ethical judgment, perceived negative consequence, and perceived positive consequence. And for dependent variable, it is moral intention. First, 5.1 independent variable, and the first variable is deontological norm. As you can see, for deontological norm, we have this consists 6 questions. We count the average of all to, and then we try to find an outlier. Most of it is false. There's only one outlier, which is 1. It's because 1 is actually lower than the lower limit. Hence, it's outside of the limit ranges. Hence, it is considered as an outlier. The mean is 4, standard deviation 1.13, and then this is the box plot. For the box plot, we find the quartiles: minimum 1, quartile 1, 3, quartile 2, 3, quartile 3, 4, maximum is 6, and then we count all the differences, we get this box plot. And then for the bar chart, we count the frequency for all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we create a bar chart based on the frequency. And then the second variable is the logical evaluation. For this, we have a lot more question than previously, which is 7 question. Same as before, we count the average, and then for this one, there is no outliers because all is false. And then the mean is 3.02, standard deviation 1.29, and for the box plot, we find all the quartiles, QR, lower limit and upper limit. This meaning that any value in the range of -1 to 7, which is all of this, is in the range. So no outliers here. Then this is the box plot bar chart, same as before. You can see, and then this is the graph for the bar chart.
For the third independent variable is ethical judgment. Same with the previous independent variable. With for this the independent variable, we got three questions for it. So same we will calculate the average for it. So we will find the mean and standard deviation for this independent variable. So we will also calculate the post block, then find the difference to do our post block for here. So also we will calculate the frequency for this ethical judgment variable. So is the higher frequency is somewhat we agree. So we will use that frequency to build our bar chart. So for the fourth independent variable is perceivable negative consequence. So for this variable, we got four. Also, four questions. So same, we will find the mean and standard deviation. Then use the data possible to build our possible. Then also we will doing our bar chart. So we can see the higher frequency is agree. So for the last independent variable is positive. So we total got three questions for it. So we can see the outlier is all the true because the average is outside of the lower limit and upper limit. So we will calculate the mean and standard deviation also. So use the different data to build our post plot. And but I use frequency, so the higher frequency is agree for this variable. So last we will calculate the dependent variable. So it's moral intention. So for this variable, we got five question for it. So we can see we identify the outlier is all the false because the average is inside the lower limit and upper limit. So also we calculate the mean and standard deviation. Uh, use the data difference to build our box plot. So we can see the frequency is 19 is somewhat agree. So use that frequency to build our bar chart. The next part we will doing the a relationship between the independent and dependent variable.
Okay, now we are going looking at hypothesis. Now there are five hypotheses in this survey. So the first hypothesis is deontological norm positively correlate with moral intention, and the second hypothesis is deontological evaluation positively correlates with moral intention, and the third one is ethical judgment are positively correlate with moral intention. And the fourth hypothesis is perceived positive consequence are positively correlated with moral intention. And the last one, and also hypothesis fifth is perceived negative consequence are positively correlated with moral intention. So now let's pass to the next turn.
So hi everyone, my name is Statistic, and now I will explain the past seven with regression model. In the regression model, we have two parts. First is simple linear regression, and the second is multiple linear regression. So we look at the simple linear regression first. In the simple linear regression, we will look at the p-value. If the p-value is less than or more than the alpha value, if p-value is less than the alpha value, it means that the linear regression model is significant and rejecting the null hypothesis. And it proves that there is a positive correlation between it with the dependent variable with smaller intention. So first we look at the tautological norm. In the tautological norm, the p-value of it is 0.004. This means that the p-value is less than the alpha value. So the linear regression model is significant and rejected the null hypothesis. And it proves that they have a positive correlation between the tautological norm and the molar intention. When the tautological norm is increased, the molar intention to use the tool is also increased. So, and the second independent variable is tautological evaluation. The p-value of tautological evaluation is 0.00005. And the p-value of the ethical judgments is 0.000003. And for the hypothesis 4 is positive consequence is 0.001. And for the positive negative consequence is 0.005. So it means that the p-value of the 5 independent variable we use in this paper is all 5 is less than the alpha value. So it means that the linear regression model of the 5 independent variables is significant and rejected the null hypothesis. So the 5 independent variables we use in this paper, they have positive correlation between the independent variable and the dependent variable with molar intention. So when both increase, the molar intention to use the ChatGPT is also increased. So now we will look at the second part, is multiple linear regression. So the multiple linear regression, we use this to analyze between the 1 dependent variable and the 5 independent variable. So we look, the alpha value is 0.05. The overall regression models was significant. The F result of the is 7.71. It means that they have a meaningful amount of a variance compared to the unexpected error, and the p-value is less than the 0.001. It means that they have strong evidence against the null hypothesis, and the R-square is 0.43. But what is the R-square? R-square is coefficient, as we already learned in the topic 10, and the formula of the R-square is SS regression divided SS total, or second formula, or we also can use the 1 minus SS residual divided SS total. So R-square 43, it means that they have a 43% the variance in molar intention. Now we look at the result of the multiple linear regression. So in the multiple linear regression, the hypothesis ethical judgment and the positive consequence is accepted because their p-value is less than 0.05. So we conclude that these two hypotheses, they have a significant positive correlation between them with the molar intention to use the ChatGPT. And the hypothesis like tautological norm, tautological evaluation, and the perceived negative consequence is rejected because their p-value is higher than 0.05. So although the tautological norm and the tautological evaluation perceive negative consequence have significant positive correlation in the simple linear regression, but after the multiple regression, they are not statistically significant and does not provide reliable evidence of influencing the dependent variable. So we can conclude that the ethical judgment and the perceived positive consequence is a key factor in this project. So to increase them, for example, teacher can educate students to proper use of ChatGPT and limitation of ChatGPT, and teacher can let students realize that AI is just a learning assistant rather than a shortcut to avoid effort, and this can enhance the perceived positive consequence of students. And besides that, the parent needs to let their students establish values such as honoriness is more than encouraged, and getting children to engage in moral thinking to strengthen their ethical judgment. So through this effort, we hope that it can increase the moral intention and thereby foster more a fair and a responsible culture of using ChatGPT. That's all. This is our project, and thanks for listening. Thank you.